Hey guys, welcome back. Something a little bit different today, but definitely a highly requested video. Today I'm filming all my highly requested videos, and one of them has been an update on sort of my weight loss stitch and what I've been doing to sort of lose the bit of weight that I've lost over the last year or so, which has been like super gradual. But literally under all my Instagram like full length photos and my lookbook videos, you guys have been flat out commenting about, you know, doing an update. So I thought that today I would do it for you for something a little bit different on my channel. You know, I always like to change it up. So I've written a concise list of 10 points on what I find has worked the most for me and what I feel like is going to be a constant, you know, throughout the future, and just basically the things that I would recommend doing if you're in the same situation as myself. Before we get into my points, I want to back you guys up with some information about like how much weight I've lost and my height and all that like physical stuff. Last year, when I finished my first year of uni, I was about over 10 stone or something like that. I was 136.5, nearly 137 pounds. It was the biggest I ever was. You know, by no means was it an unhealthy weight for my height, but it just didn't feel like me at all. I didn't feel like myself. It was my first year away from home, cooking for myself all the time, and I don't mind cooking, I love cooking, but I just wasn't cooking healthy stuff. And obviously I was, you know, comfort eating in takeouts and stuff like that, probably one too many times a week, and it didn't suit me at all. I'll try and read out some pictures for you guys. And currently I am 124 pounds, which is just shy of 9 stone. It's about 8 stone 12, 8 stone 13 pounds sort of way. My goal is like 8.5 stone. So I still have a wee bit of a way to go, but hopefully sort of getting off for the summer will fix that right up for me. But yeah, that's sort of like my situation right now. I'm 5'6". If any of you are wondering, I don't know what that is in meters. And I'm pretty happy with my weight now. If I was not to lose any more weight, I would be happy, but I just sort of want to push myself a bit further and, you know, get rid of that tiny bit of, you know, flab that's still left, and hopefully one day have a washboard stomach. But on a serious note, I did start this whole lifestyle change about 2 years ago. If you've been subscribed to me since I started this channel, you'll know that I used to always post fitness and lifestyle videos and how I was getting on with intermittent fasting and, you know, just all these little fad things that I was trying out I was just trying to change my lifestyle. This is not something that happens overnight. It was a lot of trial and error, really like 2 years of trial and error, and I knew it was going to be a long time. Like, don't expect this to happen overnight, because it doesn't. You need to go in super focused, knowing that everything you do every day is a contribution to like the big picture. But after I finished uni last year, I just really felt uncomfortable and I went ham on my exercising, and I wasn't, you know, I was eating kind of small portions all the time and cutting out a lot of carbs and just like cardioing every day, weightlifting every day, and I love weightlifting, let me tell you. But when I went back to uni in September, things got very, very hectic very quickly. Like, my course feels very intense. I feel like I'm in final year all the time, and I wasn't justifying my gym membership. I wasn't going enough to kind of justify paying the price for it, and I couldn't really afford to keep it on with the amount of times that I was going. So the 12 pounds that I've lost over the last 7, 8, 9 months or so has been sort of without any scheduled exercise or any gym or any home workouts. The only exercise that I've been doing is mandatory, really. It's the walk into uni and the walk home, which I do 6 times a week, and it takes around 40 to 50 minutes, and that's what I've been doing every day. Fast paced, not slow. I hate walking slow. Fast paced, high energy. And then also, not every Sunday, but most Sundays I try and go for a 20-30 minute jog near where I live, just to clear my head more than anything, and just to get me kind of on a good track for Monday. It's much easier to change your diet than it is to make time for gym when you have no time. Saying that, I am not one bit toned. I was so toned around the summer, and now I've lost all of it. But again, that's sort of going to all be in the next phase of my journey, incorporating my eating habits with making time for more intense exercise and stuff like that. I just haven't gotten to it yet. it. Finally, let's get straight into the points. You guys should get online and check up a good BMR calculator. It's sort of like a BMI chart, but it tells you like input your height, you input your weight and your sex, and it tells you the amount of calories that you should be eating per day to maintain your weight. And I know a lot of people just stick to the general guidelines, 2,000 calories for a woman, 2,500 for a man, but that is different for every person. For example, my BMR was 1,400 calories a day, so that is the amount of calories I would need to eat a day to maintain that weight that I currently was at that time. The rule of thumb is you need to reduce that figure by, you need to minus 500 calories a day to lose on average about a pound a week. So I was kind of aiming for about 850 calories to 900 calories a day to try and lose a pound a week. It didn't work out that way because I started off with a very low metabolism. I personally don't think I have a fast metabolism, but that has again sort of changed over the last few months. Following on from calories, number 2 is discipline and calorie counting. Now I would not recommend calorie counting absolutely everything, but like I never calorie count now, but at the start, if you're like, if it's a completely new thing to you, I think like doing a general calorie counting, like the MyFitnessPal app has the calories for every type of food you could ever imagine, and you can just input what food and it'll tell you how many calories for the portion you've had. So I would just kind of input like a little diary of what I ate that day or what I ate that week, and just at the start, calorie counting helps you familiarise yourself with what you're actually eating and what food has high calories, what food has low calories, what food has low calories but that fills you up the most, like that sort of thing. At the start, for maybe the first month, I did not really intensely, but just I tried to, at the end of the day, tot up what everything I ate. When I didn't have my phone with me or when I wasn't calorie counting, I'd have a general idea of how much was in it, and it was just really helpful for me that way. And again, discipline is a massive thing, like knowing your portion sizes and knowing what's in your food. That being said, calorie counting is not everything. Make sure what you're eating is nutritious and healthy and all that kind of stuff. Again, that kind of comes on to the rest of the point about knowing your body. Like I know recently Calorie, who's a great fitness girl here on YouTube, she did a really cool video on kind of knowing what your body's asking for in terms of cravings, you know, like what types of food you need to battle what kind of cravings you have. I thought it was really informative. That will sort of come naturally to you eventually. Like the longer you eat healthy, like the longer span that you eat healthy, you'll start to know and understand your body's cravings a lot better. My number 3 is monitoring my carbs, or in a way sort of carb cycling. Basically just changing what times I have my carbs, or kind of analysing and being a little bit self-critical of the carbs I've eaten with each meal. I find that if I have carbs in the middle of the day or the start of the day rather than the end of the day, I'm a lot less bloated, and I feel like it processes in my body a lot better, and I don't go to bed feeling all groggy. But it's not just that, it's not just simply changing what time you have the carbs. Sometimes I just swap what meals I have the carbs in. So if I have a sandwich for lunch, which I don't always, I don't buy bread every week. The only bread I buy is low calorie brown bread with like loads of seeds in it, stuff like that. But if I do have like 2 slices of bread, if I do have a sandwich, I'm in a rush, I make a sandwich, then I won't have any carbs with my dinner. So I just swap it. I try and keep my carbs to like 1 meal per day. For the most part, I like to have my carbs in veggie form, so I love my butternut squash, I love my roasted sweet potato and all of that good stuff. So I have like a handful of that with my dinner, but let's say I had something a little bit carby for my lunch, then I'll just kind of cut that down to maybe like half a sweet potato's worth with my dinner. I just sort of reduce the amount that I have. For me, it was good to not cut anything out completely. Continuing on from that, meat intake and monitoring my meat intake has been a really big help as well. Basically what I do is I just don't eat meat every single day. There was something, I don't know where I heard it or where I read it, but I read that meat can take up to a week to a month to putrefy, they use the word putrefy in your stomach and in your gut, and that really turned me off meat big time. It just really made sense to me. It felt like it was sitting in my stomach for ages and not digesting very quickly, and just sitting there in with all the carbs that were making me feel bloated and stuff like that. And there was just something about that line that really stuck with me. So I just thought that I would reduce the amount that I ate meat. So I tried cutting it out. I tried eating vegetarian once a week, every week, and that kind of progressed into like 2 or 3 times a week. Now it's not like that all the time, it's just whatever I have in the fridge. But I would recommend trying to eat vegetarian at least once a week, or maybe just have some eggs instead of meat, you know, just give it a go. It's actually really easy, and the more you do it, the more you get used to it, you can sort of increase that a bit more. Give it a go. I think it just gives your kind of gut a break from constantly trying to digest meat. And it's been working really well. Obviously water is a massive one. I try and drink a pint of water with every meal that I have, along with maybe an extra litre just throughout the day here and there. Even trying to drink it like before your meal will fill you up a little bit, and you'll finish your dinner but you won't feel like eating more. Number 7, satisfying your cravings rather than ignoring them. And this is something I used to do all the time. I used to really cut down my portions instead of like filling my plate up, and I think in the last like months, literally since I discovered nut butter, my life has changed. Like, if you hit up my blog, I have tons of recipes to sort you guys out if you have a sweet tooth or a savoury tooth, but mostly a sweet tooth. And like dark chocolate is your best friend. Ground nuts, nut butter, like the amount of things and treats you can make yourself. Like, I've made cookies, I've made brownies, I've made cookies from vegetables, like, and they've been amazing. Like, there is other ways. You just need to get in the kitchen and start experimenting. And if you'd like to see any of those recipes, they're on the lifestyle tab of my blog. If you just go down to the little food section from lifestyle, you'll find all of those there, and they will save your life. Honest to God, get trying them out. You'll just feel like, I've had something really sweet and it's pretty much guilt-free. Those kind of gluten-free, sugar-free, kind of vegan even, some of those recipes are vegan, have really helped. And I also have some of my vegetarian dinner meals on there too. Number 7, try and eat gluten-free when you can, and just not any gluten-free. Like, check the packaging, see how much sugar is in it, because obviously sugar turns to fat if you don't work it off. And a lot of those gluten-free things are really like a marketing ploy, and they're actually stuffed with a ton of sugar. So if you're making like good options like gluten-free or, you know, vegan or whatever, make sure to double check and see, you know, how far sugar is up in the ingredients, or if there's any ingredients that you don't recognize. If you don't recognize the ingredients, then don't buy it. Number 8, don't buy pre-packaged meals. I don't buy anything pre-packaged, especially from Tesco. Even like buying their meat sort of hurts my feelings a little bit, because most of the time we get our meat from a butcher, which is like on another different level compared to supermarket meat. But like when it comes to like pre-made meals and stuff, just stay away from them. You just don't know what's in it. The best way to know what you're eating is to make it yourself, and that has been my biggest motivation for cooking myself a lot of the time, is because I know exactly what I'm putting into my food, where I'm using my calories, sort of how my meal has been put together, and I know there's nothing kind of crazy or funky in there with my food. Majority of the food I buy is all natural, it's raw when I get it, and then I cook it all myself, and I think my body has responded really well to that, because there's nothing weird in there. Like, I think with a lot of pre-made stuff or packaged stuff, or even like low fat weird kind of stuff like that that's already done for you, it's like your body doesn't understand all those chemicals, especially with takeaways and stuff. It's like it doesn't process it. And that's the great thing about having all these like healthy snacks that I make, and all my healthy treats and all the home meals that I make, is that it's all natural food. It's like my body knows what it is. It's not a foreign chemical. that is really hard to digest. Number 10 is the final one, and is be prepared to make mistakes. I mean, we all fall off the wagon, but the longer you're on this journey, the easier it is to get back on the wagon, the less frequently falling off even happens, and it just becomes easier and easier with time. So don't get discouraged if you've had a bad week or you've had a bad month. Just get back on it and keep trying. That's the only way, and eventually it'll cement itself. And I feel like I'm in the cement process, and I can like really safely say that this is the lifestyle I'm used to now, and there's no going back. Losing the bit of weight that I have, it's been great, but this is not why I did it. It's been a positive aspect of changing my life, but the main reason I wanted to do it is because I'm sort of a high achiever in life and everything that I do. I like to try my absolute best, and I want to know going out of this life that I tried to be the best possible me I could, and if being in good shape is, you know, a physical result of that, then, you know, all the better, and I'm not going to, you know, object to that. Just do leave your comments and requests in the comments box below. As always guys, I hope you've had a really good day, and I will see you in the next one.